basically we discussed about the two different types of presentation of data. Basically, first one it is called to be textual presentation of data. Textual presentation of data, and we discussed what is textual presentation of data. Next one we discussed about tabular presentation of data. Still we are running that completed related with that particular portion, particular what you can say, particular topic here. Okay, and we are going to complete that particular topic today itself. Okay, so I want to cooperate with this 40-minute. We don't have that much time with us, already 10 minutes over. With 30-35 minutes we have with us. Okay, so this short period of time we want to complete that topic there. You have to cooperate with me there. Then one more information to the people, those who not turned on your camera. So there is a problem. I want to see your face there properly. So please stay online. Don't switch off your cameras. Okay, so just check the screen. So you can see here tabular representation of data, tabular representation of data, in which in your textbook page number 44, page number 44, you can see there are number of parts are there for a table. So table is always that is connected with the two particular words called with the rows and columns. Rows and columns. We know what is a row and what is a column. What is a row and what is a column there. Okay. So in your textbook you can see that there are various parts are there for the table. What are the parts of a table? What are the parts of a table? Okay. So there are only 8 parts are there. 8 parts. You're able to see my screen. Okay. So 8 parts are there. First of all, that's going to be the table number. Next one, the title. What is that? Title. Third one is the head note of the table. Fourth one is the caption or column heading. You can see that column heading. You can see that title, table number, and the column heading. Right. Next one, caption or column heading. Captions or a column heading. So the third one, column heading, otherwise it is called to be the captions. Okay. Next one, steps. Steps means the heading of the row heading is called to be the steps. Take it from me. Row headings are called steps. Next one, body of the table. Body of the table. All the data all together that are existing in a table. So you can see here. Okay, you can see here. See here. So all the data, numerical data, we will write here. Okay, so this part is going to be the body of the table. Body of the table. So here you can see the table number, the title, had not any. If it is required, we want to write caption. I mean column heading, and you can see here it's going to be the step heading. Step heading. Yeah. Who is that? Who is that?
Screen is not seeing.
Tell me what happened.
Screen.
We can see.
You can see the screen. Try now. Is it okay now? Wait for a moment. Check it now. Is it okay? Okay, so this is what. Femina, are you able to see the screen?
No, sir.
Abdul?
No, sir.
You can see the screen, right? Okay, so these are the major parts. These are the major parts of a table, discussing here. So you can see the number, the title is the head note of the table, and column heading, cap or column heading, called be the stub heading. Okay, so these are the basic parts. 8 are there. First of all, the table number is a compulsory one. Next one, the title, important. Not should be the, if it is required, if it is required only you want to write the head note. The caption or column head, important. Stubs also important. Body of the table, it will be okay. Next one, last and final is called the footnote. Last and final is called the footnote. So these are the 8 parts of a table. Take it from me. First of all, the table number. Second one, the head note, section of the column heading. The fifth one is so row heading. Sixth one is the table, and the seventh one is a source note. It's the footnote. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about what are all those things. Okay, how can we describe a table number? How can we describe a curtain or something like that? So table number very first mentioned on the top of each table for each identification and for reference. Okay, you know that in our textbook there are a number of tables are there. Each table will begin from or begin with a table number. Table number. So it is easy to find out. Okay, where the table is located. Where the table is located. So that's the importance of table number. That's the importance of a table number. Okay, so easy to locate or easy to find out where the table is exactly existing in a book or in a printed media. Next one, title of the table, title of the table is the second item just above the table. Okay, title we can find it just above the table. So in your textbook also you can see that a place is the table number is mentioned there, that is table 4.5. What is the title here? Population of India by gender and year also mentioned there. Okay, so that is called to be a title. Okay, what is the table is going to describe? What is the table going to tell us? Okay, that is good. That should be there on the title. Okay, so it narrates. It always says about the content of the table. What is the content of the table? What is containing in the table? Okay, it has to be very clear, brief, and carefully worded. So almost all the titles are carefully created. It should be created carefully, brief, it should be very clear. It should be and it should be very clear. Okay, that's important of the title. Okay, so first one we discuss about the table number. As we discuss about the title, it should be important. That is important part of the table, right? Okay, so the last and final information for each and every student is please turn on your cameras there. You can see many of you are hiding. Please turn on. Okay, so that's it. To be title. Next, about the head knot. Here, head knot. Otherwise, it's called to be units. In your textbook, you can see the units here. All right. Observe that. Check that units. What is the head knot? The third item about the table shown after the title. So head knot always we are able to find after the title. After the title. Okay. Basically, the head knot that giving information about a unit. Unit. What unit we used in that data or on the table. Okay. What kind of a unit we used in that table. Okay. Units like rupees, money, or quantity of any products. Okay, that is coming in kilograms, tons. Okay, or we can see that amounts that is in rupees, that's in the rupees. Okay, it is generally given in brackets. So units always we can find in a table in brackets, in the brackets there. So check it out. Units of a table we can find our title, that is always in brackets. Always in brackets. Unit of a table is basically describe one unit is used in that table. Basically, related with the money or dollar or quantity in kilograms or in tons. Okay, like that. Basically, quantity of the things we are able to find in units. I mean, a head knot. It's called to be the head knot. The third one it is called to be the head knot, and the fourth one is caption or column heading. So column we know that. So this is called to be the columns. It's called to be column heading. Column heading. Column always move vertical, right? So upside of the table we can find the column heading. Column heading. This part. This part. See the mouse moving area. This is called to be the column heading. This area is called to be column heading. And for the column we can make a subheading also. And basically in tables find that in your textbook you can see the workers, right? Gender, workers, non-workers, total, that example for column headings. Column headings. Then workers, then subheading also is there. Main workers are there, marginal workers are there, total workers are there. That's what's called to be the subheading. Subheading. Clear? Clear or not? Easy to understand? Okay. There is no other way to explain that. So just listen carefully. Okay. Next one is called to be subheading. So column heading is always called to be the caption. Okay. What is that? Caption. Column heading otherwise called to be the caption. Next one is called to be the row headings. So row headings. Okay. Row headings otherwise called to be the steps. So, step row heading. Stub heading. Okay. Stub heading. It's always more. Heading we can find in a vertical level here. Okay. Or stub ends we can find here. The area is called to be the stub in row heading, row heading, otherwise called to be the stubs. This movement is called to be the caption, otherwise called to be the column heading this way, and the stub heading or row heading this way. One is a vertical, the other is a horizontal. So that's called to be the stubs. Next one, body of the table. Body of the table. I already told you that the total digits or data. It's called to be the body of the table. Body of the table here. Okay, you can see the mouse moving area. Mouse moving area. That's called to be the body of the table. I will read one more time for you people. It contains numeric information in that digits, and reveal the whole story of investigated facts. What we know about the data, what is the quantity and what is the basic digits related with the data, everything will be there on the part. Columns are read vertically from top to bottom, and the rows are read horizontally from left to right. So all these things are example for 1 mark answers. What is a table number? What is a title? What is a head note? What's a caption, or what is a column heading? What is a column heading? What is stubs or row headings? What do you mean by body of a table? Body of a table. So all are important. May it ask for 1 mark. All example for a 1 mark questions and its answers. Next called to be source note. Source note. What is a source note? Source. Where from you got this data? Where from you got this data? Who give you this data? That's what the question. What is the source of the data or the table? Okay. So basically we know that various methods we are using to collect data there. Okay. Telephonic is there. Questionnaires we are preparing. Direct interviews are there. Like that various ways we will use to collect the data. So some data are published. Example, NSS, National Civil Survey Organization, they are publishing the data. The published data we can use to prepare the table. Prepare a table. So here you can see that source. What is the source in your table? That page number 44, table number 4.5. You can see that source. Census of India 2001. So the data that we can find in the table that taken from the census report of 2001. Census report of 2001. So that is information or source information related with that table. Whenever you're preparing a data or a table or a tabular representation, always the source should be there. Okay. If you didn't collect it, if it is not published, you have to keep a note there. What is that? Data collected personally, but not published. Not published. What method do you collect the data? It's a sample survey, or is it a what we can say telephonic interview? Like that, various methods are there to collect the data. That meant you should mention the period when you collect the data, in which year, which month. That also we can keep in the source note. Source note, right one. Next one is called to be the footnote. Last and final one, the 8th one is called to be the footnote. So head note, we know that at top of the table, and footnote is the below the table. Footnote always is the below the table. We can find that. So what is a footnote? It explains the specific feature of the table, which is not self-explanatory. Many things will be there in the table. Some data are unable to explain what that basically mean. Okay. So that time we want to use a footnote. For example, we are writing or we are adding digits in the table, 39.9 kilogram, 39.9 kilogram. We will round it up. We'll round it up. Sometimes we will write 40. It could be mentioned in the footnote. Okay, data are not accurate. Data are not accurate. Okay, like that. Things what is not self-explanatory in the data or in the table, we should keep or we should write that in the footnote. It explains the specific feature of the table. It is not self-explanatory and has not been explained earlier. Okay, so other parts are there. We are not explained about this in the table, not explained in the title, not explained in the head, not explained about that data in the caption or the stub or the body part. That all we want to write in the footnote. Okay. So points of exception, if any exceptions are there. Okay, number of people. We know that number of people, those who are working in a village, but we don't know how many people are unemployed there. Why they are not getting job? That kind of data are unavailable. So such kind of informations are there. We are able to write or we are able to mention in the footnote. So what are the 8 parts of a table? What are the 8 parts? I hope you made the there. Okay. First one is table number, title, caption, column headings, steps or row heading, body of the table, source note, and the last one is a footnote. Just take it from me, learn it properly. I already told you that all is example for 1 mark answers. Okay, so learn that properly or learn it properly. Okay. Okay. So now we are going to discussing about the advantages and disadvantages of tabular presentation of data. Tabular presentation of data. In any case, we know that advantages will be there. The same time, disadvantages also will be there. So we want to explain that too. We want to learn that too. So all together, question will come from 6 mark. Okay, all right. Or give a brief description about the tabular presentation of data. So all these kind of things should be there. Should be there. Okay. So we are going to explain that part here. Okay, can you see my screen? No, anyone? What about? Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Sharat Anil Kumar. Yeah, fine, fine. Give me a reply there, okay? Otherwise, I will think where people are, or where were you, something like that. Okay. So mind it. Next, we are going to be discussing about objectives of a table. Objectives of a table. I told that already discussed that what are it is basically related to the table there to simplify the complex data. So if you're reading a news report or a textual representation, that is very complex, difficult to understand sometimes. Okay, but we're representing that in a data or a tabular form, it is easy to that is representing in tabular form. It is easy to understand. We are easily we can grasp the idea or the message that conveying the table. Here you can see the table itself. We can see that numbers are find what the percentage, the total number, how many are there from each sector, how many are villages, how many are from the and how many males are there, how many females are there. All such data are easily we are able to understand there. But only one thing is there, only a person, those who know understand the things there. I mean, read the sense how to read the table or the tab presentation. So next one is going to be to bring out essential features of a data. Okay, so in a table, we are only observing the essential data. What we require, that only we can find in a tabular presentation. Okay, yes or no? That only we can find it. No other data is there. Nothing will be there. Okay, only we can find the necessary items. Next one, to facilitate comparison. It's all to compare data within the table or compare the data with the other table. Next one, to facilitate statistical analysis. Okay, statistical analysis also easy analysis of statistical data also able through the presentation. That example, the tabular presentation of data. Easily we can understand or we can analyze the things that what is presently existing. Okay, next one is saving the space, saving the space. This is the easiest presentation. It can if you want to use only a less space to depict. Okay, next one we are discussing about. I'm going to the next one because we already discussed that earlier. Next one, what are the 3 limitations of a table? Okay, first of all, lack of description. Lack of description. This is BMARC answer. To learn it properly. What are the limitations of a table? Already I told that what are the objectives of a tabulation or what are the objectives of a table. All right, are also important only. Asking for 3 mark 2. Not explain that also. Okay. What are the 3 limitations of a table? Next one is going to be what are the 3 limitations of a table? Lacks description, capable of presenting individual items, incapable of presenting individual items. One needs special knowledge, These are the 3 basic limitations of a table. So we are just explaining one by one. What do you mean lacks description? Lacks a description. Example, in the textual presentation, we are able to read and understand how incident happened, when it happened, what are the people engaged in that incident. Like that, various forms are there. Like a story, we are able to read and understand the incident in a presentation. But in a tabular presentation, such kind of data or such kind of information may not be. Okay, only we can see that a table represents only figures, not attributes. No stories are there. Only figures are there. How that happened? No such a idea conveyed by a table there. Only we can see the figures. It ignores the qualitative aspect of facts. There. For example, discussing about the literate people in one locality and illiterate people in one locality. So we can only see the number, why they are illiterate and why the people are able to educate. Such kind of data or such kind of information may not be there in a tabular presentation. That's a drawback. Drawback. We are unable to find out the individual aspects or a qualitative aspects of facts there. Next one, incapable of presenting individual items. We already discussed that. Incapable to presenting a individual items. It's a aggregate data we can find in a table. Aggregate data all together, or averages we can find also. Okay, it does not present individual items. Not able represent the individual items there. So all together, aggregate or the average also we can find an aggregate you can find. So you can see that it present aggregate data. All together, what is that? That one we can find from a table. No other individual items is existing in a data, or individual quality based things is not existing in a table. Next one, needs special knowledge to understand a table, to read and understand a table. Basically, some special knowledge required. Understanding of a table requires special knowledge. It cannot be easily used by a layman. The person he is unable to, or not that much educated, or his field is not related with the statistics, such kind of people will take some time to understand. Layman means here the meaning is an ordinary person. That's the meaning there. Not okay. The only professionals can easily understand these tables there. Other people, they will take some time to understand. That is the only problem. These are the problems with table, or limitation with the tabular presentation of data. Tabular presentation of data. Just take it from me. What are the three? First of all, lacks description. Next one, incapable of presenting individual items. Third one, needs specific knowledge. Sorry, special knowledge. Again, I hope you made a note of this, right? So wrong. Not
Yes,
or
sir.
not. Then Amal Raj. Amal Raj, are you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Grishma, tell me what are the 8 parts of a table? What are they? Grishma, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me, Grishma, what are the 8 parts of a table?
Table number, title,
Yeah, table number, title,
mm, column heading, row heading,
column heading, row headings,
head note,
head
footnote,
note, correct?
body of the table, source,
Body of the table and the source note. Yeah. Last one. The final one.
footnote.
Yeah, the final one. Footnote. Yeah, footnote. Okay, these are the parts of the table there, right? So Basil Bashir, are you there? Basil Bashir?
Yes, sir.
Basil, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, Basil, what are the objectives of a table, or objectives of tabular presentation? Why we are using tabular presentation?
Sir, to simplify complex data.
Of course, to simplify the complex data. Next one.
Sir, to bring out essential features.
Bring out essential feature of an incident of an or a particular social scenario. Okay, then.
Saving of space.
Of course, saving the space. Okay, like other presentation, tabular presentation needs less space. So that's objective. That are the basic objectives of tabular presentation of data. Tabular presentation of data. Okay, next one, Aparna. Can you hear me, Aparna?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, tell me, Aparna. What are the limitation of tabular presentation? Limitations
Sir,
of a tabular presentation of data.
it lacks description.
Yeah. It lacks
Then
description.
Incapable of presenting individual items.
Yeah, we are unable to present individual items. Fine, good.
Then needs special knowledge.
Yeah, need special knowledge to understand or read and analyze the table. Okay, these are the limitations with the table. These are 3 things here. So today, what are the things we discussed basically? What are the major parts of a table? What are the objectives of a table presentation? And what are the limitations of a tabular presentation? Okay, next we are moving forward with some short question I can explain here. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, current is good, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so who is that? So whether tabulation makes the data simple or complex. The question is whether tabulation makes the data simple or complex. So always we know that tabular presentation we are using to simplify the data. Simplify the data. What is the answer? Simple. So give me the answer, okay? You understood this topic here. Whether tabulation makes the data complex. That is the objective of the tabular representation of data. We know that always we are using a table to simplify the data. Simplify the data. Next one question. Give two reasons of or to use footnotes in a table. Why we are using a footnote in a table? To is to point out any exceptions of the data. Anything is not mentioned earlier in the data table or in the table, we will write or we want to write that in the footnote. Okay. Something we excluded, we want to write that in the footnote. Next one, mention any special circumstances affecting the data. Special situations. Okay. In a social situation or political situation, sorry, or in an economical scenario, we want to mention in the footnote. What are the things that are excluded earlier, that everything should be there in the footnote? It should be there. Which one? Where is the head note placed in the table? Head note. Already discussed that. A head note is given in small brackets to depict basically just below the main table. So head note is basically in small brackets, basically that related with the units of measurement. Units of a measurement, basically currency or kilograms, weights. Okay, that's kind of things we can find the not here. That's called to be we can say units, that always in brackets, always in the brackets. Okay, so next one. What is the importance of the table number? Importance of the table number. Discussed here. The table number makes it easier to find out the relevant table. Okay, where the table is existing, in which page number. Okay, page number. If you don't know the page numbers, we are able to find where the table, because the table number is there. Okay, table number is there. In the textbook itself, we can see that the table number is 4.5 means the for the chapter is the table, right? Easy to understand that. One table makes it easy to find out the relevant table. Each one, what is the main part of the table is called? The main part of the table is called the body. What is that? The body of the table. Of the table. The next one is called to be.
Hello.
Someone is not. Some are entered in the class. Actually, the class is something else. Just to change something in that. Please exit. Amar Aimu, is that Amar Aimu? Okay, I think they exited already. Okay, fine. So these are the things we discussed here. So next one is called to be multiple choice question. So in that we the exams are coming for you. Multiple choice evaluation will be there. Okay, I mean evaluation will be there. Okay, next one, multiple choice questions. First one, dash explain the specific feature of a table which is not self-explanatory. What is that? What is that?
Footnote.
Answer is there itself, right? Yeah, footnote. So if it is not self-explanatory, the thing is there, you want to write that is a footnote. This footnote is the answer. Top of each column in a table, a column designation is provided to explain this in the column, which is known as, what is that? Caption. Column heading is called to be the caption. Column heading is otherwise called as a caption. Next to third one, dash part of the table gives information about the unit that in the table to represent data. That is called to be head note. Okay, head note. And basically, that's in units that can be found brackets related with the currency or value things, maybe in weight or height or something like that. In quantity items will come in the head note here. Okay, so these are the basic things we want to learn today. I hope all you understood all this. That easy only. It is easy or hard to understand? Tell me. These things are easy or hard to understand? So this is statistics is somewhat what we can say that we are unable to explain any with any other helping things here because I am working from home, right? So no other things there with me. Okay, so are you able to understand or not? Is it clear or not? The connectivity issue. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, now tell me, Basil Bashir, is it to understand? Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me some suggestions. What we can do to make the class some more interactive or some more interesting. Give your suggestion, Mr. Basil Bashir. Basically, out of the statistics I am asking. What don't you do? I can't hear anyone. The network is stable. Can you hear me, anyone? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Abdul, okay. The idea is clear, Abdul. The topic is clear or not?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So learn this topic well there. In the next class, maybe I will conduct a small MCQ test for you. I already explained the answers there related with the tabular representation. Tabular presentation of data related with this topic. A small MCQ question I will ask. So you have to answer me. Okay. Sorry. One more time, we'll go for the recapitulation here. So related to the table, we know that what is representation of data, what are the four varieties basically that the tabular representation, the quantitative classification, temporal classification, spatial classification. Okay, already discussed all these things there. Okay, we want to revise one more time. Let's do on the basics of tabular presentation. What are the basics of a tabular presentation? Why we are making tabular presentation? Discuss about parts of a table. From the textbook also you can learn that. I already kept the table here, and your textbook also the same thing is there. You want to check in that too. And what are the objectives of a table or tabulation? And what are the limitations of a table? Okay, these are the major things what we discussed today. So I hope you understood all these things, and we will meet in the next class. Okay, so I will upload this particular topic, particular notes today itself. Okay, I want to check it properly. Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Speak, guys, speak. Yes, who is that? Aishwarya? Aishwarya?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay, guys, thank you very much. We'll meet next class.